The topic that stood out the most to me is if there are positive or negative impacts on interpersonal relationships from using electronic devices. The reason I picked this topic is to see if the impact would be better or worse for people. A digital guru by the name of Patundi Thurston says that we seem to resist, or can't seem to resist our cell phones or any other electronic devices, especially in the company of others. That we check our devices compulsively. Even recent studies found that the amount of empathy we feel seems to be alleviated when comparing cell phone usage to face-to-face conversations. Shirley Turkle, an MIT professor and psychologist, actually applauds the many benefits of digital technology, but says that we will have a lot to learn about how to use it without undermining our own values. And by our own values, I mean like, mannerisms, so to speak. A study on young people ages 8 to 18 was done by the Kaiser Family Foundation to see if the impact of media on kids. The study showed that the kids spend nearly every waking moment, which is about 7.5 hours out of the day, on some form of social media. A principal researcher at Microsoft Research, Nancy Dam, says that research communication enhances relationships and that there is evidence the more you communicate digitally, the more likely you are to communicate face-to-face. She goes on to mention, with every new technology, we learn to adapt. So whether or not technology presents a challenge, few would disagree that the bond between digital devices and the people who use them are strong. At the Pew Research Center, Dr. Hampton did a study outlining the concerns people have with technology and relationships. Some major concerns were people becoming more isolated, substituting online activity with traditional social behavior, and if we would lose our intimacy with other people. However, some of Dr. Hampton's research may surprise you. It was revealed that there is no evidence establishing a connection between technology used and the decrease in the size of our core networks. In fact, most media users tend to report more close relationships as well as diversity within these close relationships than non-users. Research also shows that the users of technology not only tend to have many diverse social relationships, but that they are supportive relationships. An article by Iris Adler touches base on the story of the Powers family and their internet Sabbath. And basically what they do is every Friday evening all the way up until Sunday afternoon, what they will do is they will turn off any and every bit of social media devices that they have. That includes computers, cell phones, tablets, any type of electronic communication they can have. And so far it seems that it's worked pretty good for them. As a matter of fact, they said, and whenever they were interviewed, that at first it was hard, trying to get into the loop of everything, trying to have a couple days off from the internet. But after a couple of months, they eventually started coming together and not really noticing it as much, and had more family time and did more family-orientated stuff, like play games, go to the beach, things like that. So, in an aspect, that's actually a pretty good medium right there. Sorry, I'm getting a little lost on my cards here. So, does electronic communication have a positive or negative impact on our relationships? In conclusion, I found that using the Powers family method seems to work best, to create a good medium and to take electronic communication in reasonable doses. It will help keep balance in your life. This topic is relevant in my life because of the ever-growing technological world. Every day there are new devices we need to learn to function with. But even with the new technology, I still need to be able to get a hold of my family and friends and be able to communicate with them. Also, I was curious as to the influence technology has on our ability to communicate socially. I learned that with a balanced medium, positive effects can emerge through use of social media. A question that this subject brings to my mind is if we ever became limited on how we were able to use our internet and our mobile phones and everything like that. Like, what effect would it have on us?